Ayurveda means the science of aliveness. Ayur means aliveness, being alive, to bringing vitality to life, not to be inviting diseases and then trying to banish them from the system. So Ayurveda, what it means is, after all, this body is an accumulation of this planet. It's a piece of this planet. But how you gather it makes all the difference. Everything on the planet, everything that grows upon the planet is just the same soil. But different things that have come out of the planet have different kinds of impacts on the life that is here. When you call someone a goat, that means he's unintelligent. At least in India, it's a term used. He's like a goat, means he lacks intelligence. When you're in dim company, you call them goats. But the goat knows what to eat, what not to eat. Goat is supposed to eat everything, but that's not true. I have closely observed the goat. And you will see goat is very selective of how much of what it should eat on a particular day. It is very selective about that. It knows how much of what it should eat for its well-being. Because human beings are not aware enough. In India, goat's milk is considered very healthy and medicinal in quality because a goat eats various plants of medicinal value and you may get something out of it. Instead of drinking cow's milk, when people lack vitality in the body, people switch to goat's milk because there are many herbal medicines in the goat's milk. And goat selectively eats what it needs on a particular day in a particular quantum. So, even a goat knows, but why is it that human beings have such an issue about knowing what they should eat and what they should not eat? Because they're not using their senses to eat what they should eat. They're trying to think it up. Once they start thinking things up, then you don't know what is true and what's not true. This is the nature of your thought, please understand. If you start thinking something about this person, you think for 3 months about this one person, after some time you do not know what's true about her, what's not true about her, because your thoughts will make you believe all kinds of things. Many times, people have taken the effort to disillusion you. Whatever you thought about them, haven't they tried? They tried successfully, isn't it? So, Ayurveda means to have the necessary sense to understand of all the things, millions of things that come out of this planet, to be able to recognizing that what kind of impact it has on you. This used to be, now people are trying to write it down and say, this is it, this is it. Otherwise, the traditional Ayurvedic doctor would always be located next to a forest or a place like that, like how we are located in India. Now if you come and sit here, looking at your particular need, then he will say, wait, and he will go into the forest. He has your vibes within him. With this he goes and he chooses what is needed for this person, brings fresh herbs, prepares and gives. Like a miracle, it's gone. because it's not the chemistry of the plant. It is trying to match the life process of the plant and yours in such a way that you create a science of aliveness out of it. We cannot go to that extent today, but we have identified. We still manage to do that in the rejuvenation center to some extent, but with the bottles being exported to America, we cannot do that. So we have identified those things which will cause aliveness to you. Mind you, aliveness, not stretching your life. If you do things to just stretch your life, it will be a torturous life. If you're trying to drag something or anything forcefully, especially yourself, through any situation, that's going to be a torturous experience always for you. So especially with the whole life process as such, if you're trying to stretch this, it will be miserable. It will be pathetic, which you are seeing unfortunately today. We are stretching people's lives to 90, 95, 100, but they don't know why they are there. It's an experiment. If you go into… I don't know, I walked into one of the geriatric clinics, it's pathetic. They don't know why they even exist. They're simply people who lived with dignity, people who lived well. Now we've made them into simply these kind of people. If you stretch life, this is what happens. If you generate aliveness, it will last as long as it can last. When it has to go, it will go well. Stretching life makes a human being lose all his dignity, all his humanity, everything that he ever valued in his life, everything he will lose towards the end of his life. Have you seen this happening, unfortunately? People who lived well will be made to go in a most undignified way simply because somebody is interested in stretching their life. Good for the business. I think, I don't know the exact statistics, I think I read something, about 80% of the medication, the pharmaceutical purchases, happen for people who are over 65 years of age. Is that right? Something like that. So we want to stretch their life because it's good for the business. What's good for the business is good for the economy. What's good for the economy is good for the ruling party, and so many benefits are there. Except the value of human life, everything else is good. So Ayurveda is not about stretching your life, it is a science of aliveness. This is a chemical soup. Only when the soup is like that, tastes good. A little more of this, little more of that, it's no good. So, Ayurveda is that to just to get this chemical soup right so that it throbs, it pulsates with life, not about stretching life. So these are not really medicines, these are all things. If people who are cooking were aware, as they used to be, it was very common. If when my mother was around, if the children, one or two of them are running temperature, or somebody's having a stomachache, somebody's having something, means she knows what to cook today. Now, today's mothers, they can only run to the doctor. They have no clue what to cook today. They'll do an MRI, stomachache, MRI. So, Because there is nobody around you who's aware enough to add these ingredients into your life, it has been brought down to medicine level or in the form of a capsule or something, maintaining the fundamental quality of what it is, not treating it chemically, not doing some other modification with it, just the way it is supposed to be. It's a natural product as it is, just making sure it's preserved because of desiccation and those kinds of processes, but not really any kind of additive. Now, because nobody is adding the right ingredients to your soup on a daily basis, you pop it yourself. These are not medicines. Medicines will come later. These are not necessarily for the sick, these are for those who want to be alive. These are not even supplements. This should have been part of your eating. If you were a goat, you would have chosen which of the 5 you should eat today and how much. Because you are not one, it is coming in the bottle. Medicines will come later. Ayurvedic medicines are different. Herbal additives are different. If you lived in nature, many of these things would have naturally been part of your diet and it would have worked very well. But now that we eat out of a superstore, we are eating out of a marketplace, not out of nature. Because of that, these things have to be added, and I think it will be a very important addition, particularly to the western part of the world. Genuine herbs which can make a difference in one's aliveness. And you don't need health, you need aliveness. If this is alive enough, it will create health. The one who is here, if he is alive enough, it will generate health. You don't have to every day calculate how much of what. If this is kept alive, health will be a natural manifestation of that. So, Isha Herbal is one step towards this. On a different level, we laid the foundation stone for Isha Arogya hospital very close to the ashram, which is a combination of allopathic, Ayurvedic, Siddha and yoga and naturopathy. And Isha Arogya pharmacies, also the first one opened in Salem. We are planning to open about 125, a chain of 125 stores like this, where there is an allopathic doctor, a Siddha doctor. Over 70% of the medicine there is either Siddha medicine or Ayurvedic medicine, but an allopathic doctor diagnoses, prescriptions happen by the local doctors. But if somebody has come with an infection or something else where allopathic system of treatment is best, they will get that treatment, otherwise they will get other kinds of therapies. This has never been done before. The problem is usually people who have studied modern medicine or allopathic system of medicine, they rubbish everything else. People who are Ayurvedic enthusiasts, they think allopathy is all damaging and no good and all that. Siddha people think Ayurveda is still immature. Like this it goes on. Everybody is committed to a system. So when I put these 5 systems together, including homeopathy and Unani and everything, 5, 6 systems together, people said, how can this work in one place? So I told them, I am not committed to any system. I am committed to human health. That's why all of them in one place.